Welcome, bienvenidos. My name is Roxana. This is Avid Diva, and today we start a new series called Business Lessons from Social Media. We decided to start with this series with a company called Lashify, and before we move into the lessons, I wanted to give you a little primer on what Lashify is. Lashify is a company that specializes on creating eyelashes for temporary use that are long but look natural. And this company has been around for a little while, and they rely mostly on social media for what I can see. The thing is that the story starts when a large YouTuber decided to do a review on these lashes. And the reviewer is Manny MUA, who is in a little hot water right now, but at the time was a very successful YouTuber. Let's get to the facts and the lessons from Lashify. So back in March of 2018, Manny MUA, who had 5 million subscribers at the time, decided to make a video testing the famous Lashify lashes. The set cost $125. It took him 5 minutes to put one of them in one of his eyelids, and he did not recommend it for himself, but was very clear that just because they didn't work for him did not mean that they might not work for you. Next, the owner of Lashify went on what looks to be an Instagram live stream to explain how to put them on, and let's just say things did not go well. She was a little abrasive with people that came to ask questions and people that were truly interested after seeing Manny to see if there was a mistake on how he applied them. She was not too happy with the questions and the comments that were being left on her live stream, and she was actually rude to the point where she actually offended the LGBTQ community, not counting the countless prospects that she also insulted while being on this live stream. Needless to say, it was not a good thing. Now, let me clarify that I was actually on this live stream, and by the way, the image is courtesy of another channel, Beauty with Ashley. But I wanted to let you know that I was actually on the live stream, and I was clearly offended by some of the things that this lady said. And the first lesson of social media is this: there is a way to be professional. You can be candid, you can be funny, but there is a level of professionalism that you should keep on all your social media when you're representing your company. This is something that this lady did not do. And that's why she got canceled. Just plain and simple. So let's fast forward to this week when Manny Mua, or Manny MUA I should say, got in a little bit of hot water for things that have nothing to do with the topic of this conversation. And the people behind Lashify decided to make a tweet where they ask, if the person who canceled you is now canceled, does that mean we're uncanceled? Well, again, they're trying to be quirky and have a sense of humor, but sometimes in writing it doesn't translate. And maybe they should have waited a little longer. Maybe they should have not asked the question at all. But they were met with swift responses, including mine. And this is where we start the second lesson of this particular tragedy. My comment on their post referred to the fact that it was not his review that got them canceled, but their behavior during their live stream. At which point they answer, "Hey, thanks for your message. Our customers are awesome. Please don't confuse our customers for trolls that find comfort in spreading hate and cyberbullying." Now I want to make it clear that I have said in many occasions that telling the truth is not the same as being negative or cyberbullying. And that is something that this company does not understand. It's okay for them to troll and ask a question like, if the person who canceled you is now canceled, does that mean we're uncanceled? That cannot be considered trolling because they're just being quirky or funny. But when somebody does the same thing to them, they consider it disrespectful and bullying. And that takes us to a very important lesson on social media. You cannot take things personally. You should use them to your advantage and create a conversation, not instigate more trolling by being disrespectful and quirky. Now, I'm not going to get into the back and forth that happened between me and this company. Suffice it to say, the Dalai Lama was mentioned for some reason. I still don't get that joke. But the reality is that as soon as they noticed that people that I spend a lot of time with on social media started responding to their behavior, they got a little upset, shall we say, and they ended up blocking me. And we come to the third lesson on social media. If you block people, don't expect people to shop from you, ever. Now, interestingly enough, after I got blocked, and by the way, I learned this lesson from the drama channels, I went through somebody else's account and looked at what else had they said. And of course, they had posted a little ditty about how they were misunderstood. And what I have to say about this is that oddly enough, when I went to check their account this morning, there was no evidence of this conversation at all, which is why I'm making this public. Because one thing you have to remember is that whatever you post on social media, there's always someone recording what you post and reminding you to be a better person. Am I being petty? Not at all. I think it's really important that we look at other companies and what they do and try to learn from their mistakes. The first mistake that this company made was to take Manny MUA's review personally. In my opinion, it is always important to have good and bad reviews on social media, because when you only have good reviews, people are going to get a little suspicious. Now, the second lesson, of course, is to not answer in anger or frustration, because even if you're trying to be quirky, people are not going to recognize that. When you write something down or when you say something in a certain way, even in the spoken word, it tends to alienate a lot of people. And some of those people might be future customers of yours. They will get turned off by your behavior and they will not want to shop from you anymore. Now, I found it very amusing that they erased the entire conversation. They deleted the conversation. And then today or yesterday, I don't know when, they had a post called Allergic to Negativity. Some lessons that the company Lashify should learn are very simple. Not every truth that is said to you is meant negative. The truth is not negative or positive. It's on how you take it. If instead of taking as so-called trolling or negative responses, you would actually take the lessons and disregard the rest, you would actually realize that your idea of quirky sense of humor is not translating well with your prospects, and you would do something to improve that conversation. The other thing is, the Manny MUA situation just happened. If you would have waited maybe a couple of days or maybe even a couple of weeks before you made that comment, maybe it would have landed better. But right after the downfall of somebody, you don't kick somebody when they're down, because it's by default going to kick you in the behind. So maybe Lashify will never see this video. I don't know, and I don't care. But for all of you that are watching, learn the lessons from this company. Don't make the mistake of thinking that your sense of humor is automatically going to translate to people. It sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But the important thing is to remain teachable. Don't take anything personally, especially when it comes to a company. People change their taste all the time. What might seem like a hassle now might seem like a time saver later. And those 5 minutes that it took Manny to put those lashes on, might you could have taken that as an opportunity to sell the fact that yes, it might be 5 minutes, but then you're going to have them on for 4 days, or whatever the advantage of having these lashes is, and use the so-called negative and turn it into a positive. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.